Hey Thinksters, and welcome to this tutorial where I want to introduce the reshape method of Python's awesome library, NumPy library for data science and data analytics and array processing. Okay, so in NumPy, so first of all, this is a tutorial about NumPy, so we import the NumPy library to our Python shell. Okay, we type in import NumPy as NP, and now we can access to the the powerful NumPy library via the short term NP, and we can access like the special NumPy functions. Okay, so let's create an array. We call it ARR, or let's just call it A, and we create an array, two-dimensional array. So we have some, say, 5 values in the first row, and then in the second row we have 5 other values. Okay, so like this very simple array. Two-dimensional array. So if I would draw this in, let's draw this on a drawing board. Start drawing. Okay, so we have like this array. In the first row we have the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the second row we have the values 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's like this. We have two-dimensional arrays. This is the first dimension, so we have different columns and different rows. Okay, so let's go back to the code. In the code, first, before you can understand the reshape function, you have to properly understand the shape information of each array. So each array has a property called shape. You can print this property to your shell, and if you do this, we see that our array, which we have just created, has a shape tuple to 5. Okay, so the shape property is always a tuple, so it always contains multiple integer values as information. And what is the meaning of those integer values? It's basically the first value is the number of items in this axis. Okay, so we have different, so in this case we have 2 dimensions, so for each dimension we have 1 tuple value. Okay, so and this 2 information tells us that we have 2 elements in the first dimension. So what are these elements? We have the first element is this list, and the second element is this list, so to say. Okay, and in the second dimension we have 5 elements. So here we have 5 elements in this row, and we have 5 elements here. Okay, so basically NumPy everything, so we have this axis information. You just go from the outside in. So the first axis basically is along, so if you have one opening bracket, then this indicates that we are in the first axis. If you have the second opening bracket, this indicates that you are in the second axis, and so on. Okay, so we have different axes. If in this case we would have like we have here one axis here and one axis here along this dimension. Okay, so you can think of each axis as the kind of the dimension of your area. And of course you can have multiple dimensions. That's why that's important. You can have 3-dimensional, so then you would have 3 axes and so on. Okay, and here in this case we have this one would be axis 0, and this would be axis 1. Okay, why is this axis 1? Because these information, the columns in this example are basically, so this is one column, this is one column, this is one column, so this whole row consisting of 5 columns, this is in the second nesting level, and therefore as in Python we start counting with 0, we have this is axis 1, and this whole thing, this whole row, so here we have one whole row, here we have one whole row, so this would be then axis 0, because they are at the outmost list or nesting hierarchy. Okay, so and our shape property just gives us the information for each axis, it gives us a number of values in this axis, okay? So here for the first axis, axis 0, we have 2 elements, which are 2 rows basically, and here in the second one we have 5 elements, so we have 5 columns. And this works accordingly for a multidimensional, so say higher dimensional array. So we have 1, 2. I just type in some values now. So 1, 1 and 1, 1, and they should be. So now we have a lot of opening and closing bracket, but you see, like just count the number of opening brackets. It's 3, so you can all instantly see it's a 3-dimensional array, and then you have like 2 values in this dimension, and here we have 2 values in this dimension, and we have 1 value here. So you can, if you print the shape here. Now it's a 3-dimensional tuple, and we have 2 values in each dimension. Okay, so why 2? This is what I just told you here. So we have 2 values in the innermost nesting level. We have 2 values in between, so in the like second nesting level, and we have 2 values in the first or outermost nesting level. Okay, so now you understand the shape property. Okay, so every array has a shape in NumPy. So even a one-dimensional array, let's have a one-dimensional array has a shape tuple, but the tuple just consists of 1 value. Okay, so this is why the second tuple value is empty. This is how Python visualizes a one-dimensional tuple with only 1 value. And you see, so we have 1 dimension, so there's only 1 tuple value, but we have 3 elements in this 1 dimension, and therefore it's a it's also a tuple, and just a tuple with 1 element. Okay, so the shape information gives us the knowledge about how the array look like. Okay, so it's about the form, the shape of the array basically. Good. So what's the reshape function in NumPy? The reshape function basically takes 3 arguments. So we can call NumPy Reshape. First, we need to have an array which we can reshape. So let's create a new NumPy array. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a one-dimensional array, and then we have to give the new shape information. What is the new shape? So you already know that the shape is always a tuple value, and then we can have the order, and the order, just ignore it for now. It's an optional argument, and we will just ignore it basically. You don't need it in most instances. Okay, so now we have to define the shape. So what is your preferred shape? So say we can have like we have a one-dimensional here. So the current shape would be like this. So we have we have 4 elements in the first dimension, so to say, and 0 element. We don't have another dimension, so we have a tuple with only 1 tuple value, which is like 1 dimension. So we could also have a 2-dimensional array with 2 tuple values, and in each dimension we have 2 values. Okay, so let's do this, and we have to close this. Okay, NP array. Okay, sorry, I have not closed the array, so I forgot one closing bracket. So this is the array. Okay, so here we create this NumPy array, and here we give the shape information. Good. So now you see we have converted our one-dimensional array into a 2-dimensional array. So first we had 4 values in 1 dimension. Now we have 2 times 2 values in 2 dimensions. Okay, so this is how you can use the reshape information to convert your existing array into another dimensionality. And this is very useful. It's used in many Python data science problem types. Basically, like the NumPy masters, they use it all the time. They reshape their array all the time, from one shape to the other, back and forth. You will see it a lot if you go into these Kaggle challenges, for example, and you read the NumPy code of the pros. They do reshape like you breathe. So they are really expert in this shaping, reshaping, and playing around with the different shapes of the array. So you really need to understand this. Okay, so how then the question is, how can we reshape a NumPy array 1D to 2D? So this we have already done. We have had a one-dimensional array and now we have a two-dimensional array. Okay, so very simple. Say we want to reshape a two-dimensional array to a one-dimensional array. How can we do this? So let's just take this one. So we have a NumPy array, and say we have a two-dimensional NumPy array. This 1, 2, 3, 4. So how does it look like? It looks like this. So we have 1, 2. So the first row consists of those two values, and the second row consists of those values. Now we can convert it back to the one-dimensional space by using the shape property like for 1. Yeah, basically for empty. Yeah, so we want to have one-dimensional space. Okay, so if you do this, you see our array has one-dimensional shape again. But now I want to show you interesting information, interesting trick. So we create the array C again, and now we reshape. And here we can use also was it the question mark even, or even the star? I don't know exactly. No, it was not a star. Also not a question mark. Okay, so yeah, okay, now I know. It was the -1. So we have the like the value -1, which is like a joker value. So it tells NumPy, okay, I don't care, just take as many elements here as you need so that you can push all the data into this array. Okay, so basically now it will automatically do it for you. Okay, so you tell him, okay, I want to have a two-dimensional array as a result. So we convert our array C to a two-dimensional array. We want to have 4 rows. And we don't care how many columns. So basically, we just tell NumPy, determine the number of columns automatically. I mean, how can it know? I mean, it's very simple. We tell him it should have 4 rows. If you have an array with 4 elements and 4 rows, then how many columns can we have? I mean, we can only have 1. So basically, in this case, it's very clear what NumPy should do. And now you also see if you put the wrong information here, like 5 here, it wouldn't work. It would throw an error. Yeah, because now it cannot reshape an array of size 4 into the shape 5, even if you give the joker argument here. Okay. Joker argument, I just use this as a phrase for the -1, the argument that gives NumPy the freedom to choose the axis. Okay, so yeah, this is how you can use reshape. I also have given you the information about the joker argument, the -1 that just tells NumPy to reshape as it pleases, as it works, as it still works. And yeah, that's it. So that's it for the reshape function. You can also use it in high dimensional space, of course. Yeah, just use a high dimensional tuple information. Thanks for listening to this video, and see you in the next video. Bye.